There are now more than 1,000 cases in 38 states and Washington, D.C.
The largest cluster in the country. It's happening in the New York City suburb of New Rochelle. The National Guard has been called in.
New states of emergency have been declared in Colorado, Massachusetts, and Michigan.
We will see more cases, and things will get worse than they are right now. Bottom line, it's going to get worse.
We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
We have already lost 24 of our citizens.
We're heading towards an epidemic in the United States, and the question is what the scope of that is going to be.
Tom Hanks and his wife, the actress Rita Wilson, have announced that they have both tested positive for coronavirus.
To keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days.
All right, exactly 1 year ago today, when the country began to feel the full effects of the coronavirus, March 11th, 2020, was the day the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus a pandemic. And in the U.S., shutdowns kicked in, cities began limiting gatherings, schools began to close, and major sports leagues started to halt play. Yeah. Everything seemed to stop. Can you believe it's been a year, Joe?
I know. And Willie, it seems like so much longer than a year. But now that we look back on that time period, we understand actually what the president knew and when the president knew it. We understood that for all the lies, for all the denials, all the efforts to say it was one person coming in from China, all the efforts to say it wasn't contagious, said it was going to just go away. In fact, he said that a year ago yesterday, just relax, it's going to go away, basically nothing to see here, that he had already spoken with Bob Woodward in February and had explained that he knew it was an airborne illness. He knew it was 5 times as deadly as the flu. He knew that it could affect people of all ages, and it was a real killer, I think, were his words. So it's fascinating when the president yesterday is talking about the vaccine and say, hey, remember, I don't think this is, president doesn't really want to go down memory lane when it has to do with COVID over the past year, about those press conferences, about hydroxychloroquine, about bleach in the veins, about saying he's going to reopen by Easter of last year, saying it's going to go away very soon, crossing Anthony Fauci several times, saying it won't come back in the fall. It's not going to come back. I mean, we could go down the list. It is exhaustive. But again, looking at all the information we know now, it's really, it's such a scandal, his biggest scandal, actually, that the president knew what he knew and still fiddled while Rome burned. And there are now well over 500,000 people dead, in part because of that negligence.
Yeah, if somebody had come out a year ago on March 11, 2020 and said there'll be more than 500,000 Americans dead a year from now, you wouldn't have believed him. Your jaw would have dropped, but you also wouldn't have believed him. We heard those early numbers. It might be 240,000, something like that. That seemed impossible. We're well past double that now. But you're right. You can't help but watch those clips and think, what if we'd gone on a war footing at that point? What if President Trump had acted like the war president he said he wanted to be, the wartime president? What if he had been honest with this country about what was coming and what could come, as Dr. Fauci did in that testimony? He said it's going to get a lot worse, and boy, was he right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank all of you out there.
Thank you as always.
Thanks to you at home.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for letting us into your homes during these extraordinary times.